So just on that note, this morning, Minister Işık also mentioned the intellectual contribution of University of Chicago to economics and mentioned the debate between Keynesians and monetarists. And when he was talking about it, I couldn't help but think of another great economist that has passed through University of Chicago, Milton Friedman, who was the Nobel laureate in 1976. And I thought of a quote that he has, because that debate between Keynesians and monetarists was primarily a debate about the government and what the government can do and should do in governing a society and an economy. So I just pulled out that quote. I will just read that and then give the floor to my colleagues without further delay. Milton Friedman said, government has three primary functions. It should provide for military defense of the nation. It should enforce contracts between individuals. It should protect citizens from violence against themselves or their property. When government tries to rearrange the economy, legislate morality, or help special interests, the costs come in efficiency, lack of motivation, and loss of freedom. Government should be a referee, not an active player. So that's a big mind that has passed through here. Okay, so we have three great presenters today. My colleagues have contributed to their fields. We have three diverse fields from within economics. Like the other disciplines represented here, economics is one in which Turkish scholars are strongly represented in. I think we have a great brand name as a country in economics. We will start with Ayşe İmrohoroğlu, who is professor of finance and business economics at Marshall School of Business, University of Southern California. Ayşe will give us the macro view. So she will talk about the aggregate economy with a particular focus on the Turkish data. We may hear that the Turkish economy has grown 4% last year, or it grew 5% over the last decade. You may wonder, how do I put that into context? Is it high or low compared to a peer group? What is the quality of that growth? Is it investment driven? Is it driven by human capital, education, or innovation and productivity? So Ayşe will give precise answers to those questions with data. Then Ali Hortaçsu is professor of economics at University of Chicago. Ali will give us the micro view. So the aggregate economy is composed of sub-markets, and again, the aggregate economy does well if those sub-markets function well, or at least the critical ones do. If there's lack of competition, if there's corruption, if there is bad regulation, some of these markets may be a drag on the rest of the economy. So Ali will give us examples with a particular focus on how to use data to better regulate these sub-markets, like electricity market and digital economy. And we will conclude with Tayfun Sönmez, who is professor of economics at Boston College and also distinguished research fellow at Koç University. Tayfun is the beyond part of the session title. So he will tell us what happens when markets fail or when markets don't exist. So not all of our interactions in life are mediated through price mechanism in the marketplace. Some are not, either institutionally or culturally. The issues that are at stake are how to allocate scarce resources such as donated organs to patients with organ failure. How do we decide who gets transplant? Other applications are how to assign students to schools or residents to hospitals. Tayfun's research encompasses all these areas, and he will give us fascinating examples from his own research.